What's up, guys? It's Creative G here today, and I'm going to be doing a beginner's guide to perler beads. I did my live stream for 1,100 subscribers a few days ago, and I've been wondering for a while if I should make a beginner's guide to perler beads, and someone said that they needed it. So today I'm just going to be kind of covering the basics on what you might want to look for when doing perler beads. So the first thing I'm going to cover is like the bins and the sorting. So I actually don't remember where these bins are from, but they're just standard bins. I sort my perler beads in color order, so I have reds, oranges, yellows, greens, and so on and so forth, which makes it a lot easier and also a lot prettier, because if you have just random colors and random slots, it's going to be super hard to find everything when you need a color. So I definitely recommend doing color order. But second thing I recommend is sorting them in the first place, because I promise you, if you do not sort them like I have, or just sort them in general, it will be so incredibly hard to make perler beads that you'll probably end up just giving up before you've even really found your creativity. It just honestly makes it a lot easier. When I started out doing perler beads, I actually had just this huge tub of perler beads, and it was so hard to make things. I would spend an hour on something that could have taken me 15 minutes. So it's all about making sure that your beads are sorted, and just recently I got my bins sorted through. So I mean, it doesn't really matter where you get the bins, where you buy them, whether it's Amazon, Temu, or even at a garage sale, as long as they're good, sturdy bins that have a reasonable size. Another thing that you can get, my bins, they don't have dividers that you can move. It's all just one whole piece, but there are some bins that you can get that have dividers, so that if you have a lot of orange, you can take out a divider and make it a double slot. It might be easier to do that, but either this way or having the slots that you can move, either one works just fine, just as long as you have enough bins to hold all your colors. I think that's about it for sorting perler bead stuff. So next thing I'm gonna go over is what you use to actually make the perler beads. So we all know kind of the standard protocol for placing perler beads. You put it on a pegboard. I have 6 of these and 1 of these. It doesn't really matter what pegboard you use, but you have it on a pegboard and you place them down. Now, when I started perler beads, I would always use my fingers. To me, it was just easy and didn't really matter. But once you start to be making things daily, and let's say, even if you don't just want to do perler beads for fun, maybe you're watching this video because you want to start a channel based off of perler beads, kind of like me, you're definitely gonna want to make it. You're not going to want to make it with your hands or your fingers or whatever, because it's going to make it so much harder. It might seem really easy at first doing a small design, but eventually all the designs that you make, they're going to add up and it's really going to hurt your fingers. So what I suggest using is what I have in this bin back here, which are these metal tweezers. They're super easy to use. You can just pick up 2 beads and then place them down like that, and it's super easy. Another thing that I've seen people use, which isn't as reliable, is a pen dispenser, which it does work. I've used it before in the past, but I definitely recommend going with the tweezers. It's much easier and much more reliable. The thing with this is that it's bulky, and you have to shake it. And what happens is when you shake it, you're going to drop it, and then your perler bead creation is going to be ruined. Also, it's not just about you having to shake it and the perler bead creation being ruined. Think about how annoying it's going to be to have to shake this thing, and it's loud. Another thing that's not as reliable about this is the mechanics. It's kind of like janky, and it's really easy to get like stuck. So you can see in there, it's just a simple mechanism, but still lots of times I find myself wondering what is happening because I can't actually press the button and it's just jammed. So it will still work. I've gotten it and I've used it, but I don't recommend it over the tweezers. There's not really any other thing that I know of to use to place down perler beads. There is another type of tweezers that you can get. They're green and plastic, but they're also very bulky and most likely gonna break soon. So I recommend going with the tweezers, like the metal version. The next thing I'm gonna cover is pegboards. Now, right here, these are all my standard pegboards. I have this one which has been with me my whole perler bead career. And then I've got these pegboards from Amazon. I got 6 of them, so there's 2 more. Oh, yep, right over here. So I got a set of these 6 pegboards from Amazon. I don't specifically recommend Amazon. It's fine if you use it, but it doesn't. My point is that it doesn't matter which website or store that you use, anything will work. I use Amazon just because it's easiest for me, and so that's where I've gotten most of the stuff today. So one of the things I've noticed is this one pegboard, it is much more expensive. I got all 6 of these pegboards for this just about the same amount as this one. And even though it looks like that one's stronger, these are just as strong. So just know that it doesn't specifically matter which pegboards you use, just as long as they're sturdy and you know that they're there's no broken pegs. Another thing that lots of people have used with pegboards, which I have a whole bag of, is these pegboards, but they have different shapes. Some of them in here are like regular flat ones, but with color. So I don't use these very often. They're just different shapes you can use if you want to make something that's not your own design and you can follow the guidelines of the pegboard. I don't use them very often. I feel like it's easier to just make your own design with one of these, but that is an option there if you have it. So if you're beginning to do perler beads and you really don't know what to make, you just know that you want to make something because you don't have much else to do, I would recommend these because it might be fun at first to make a few different animals and just kind of experiment and start off your journey. But in the long run, once you become a professional perler beater, I definitely recommend to just stick with these pegboards. Another thing that I want to say, it's not really that important, but another advantage is if you want to make something really big, these can interlock, and all these can interlock into a huge platform. So that's another reason I recommend these, is because that way you're able to make something bigger than the space that's just on this platform. The next thing I'm gonna cover is perler bead stock, and what I mean by that is how many perler beads you have and how you sort them. So the first thing I have here is I've sorted some perler beads into these little jars, I guess. Most people probably use them for lunches and stuff like that, but I was able to use them for perler beads, and I just have random colors in them, so whenever any of these colors run out, I can restock it with this. So it's pretty simple. Honestly, if you have any container, it will work. But the main source of perler beads, it's not just from these, because I don't have all the colors in there. But one thing that I really recommend is having lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and more and lots of perler beads. Like, you gotta make sure that you have like a lifetime supply. Not actually, but I recommend having lots of perler beads. I've all these perler beads that you see here, I've gotten them from Amazon. For me, that's pretty reliable and convenient. So I just get them all from Amazon. I have some unopened. Sometimes I'll buy several of the 1,000 at a time. So I have those that are unopened, and then you can see I have a bunch that are on clips. I have some 6,000. Another thing that I highly recommend is getting 6,000 of black perler beads, and also white if you want it. But it's more important that you get the black because no matter what, black is going to be the foundation. You're always going to need it in just about every perler bead creation you make. So you're really going to want to have it. That way, like, you basically can't run out. And they last, like, depending on how much you do, they could last about a year. Another thing that I got here is this blue. I got 6,000 of this just for fun, so I've had a lot extra of that. But mainly I recommend getting the 1,000s, maybe getting like 2 of those. Because 6,000, if it's like a generic color like blue, then it's gonna be a lot, because there's only so many things that you can use with blue in it. But at the same time, you don't want to buy just one 1,000 pack of blue, because then you're gonna have the problem of, well, now I need to go get another 1,000 pack of blue about, I don't know, every month. So make sure, like, you can see I've got more than one tan pack. I've got some, like, I've got more than one pack for some different colors, and I really recommend doing that. It doesn't really matter where you buy it from. Just make sure that you have a lot in stock, because one of the worst things that can happen is for you to, like, let's say you're in the middle of a project and you run out. I mean, that's disappointing. What's most disappointing, and this is the reason that I have so many, is if you're watching this because you want to become a perler bead YouTuber, one thing that's awful that can happen is you running out of perler beads in the middle of your video. Like, just imagine you're making something, whether it's live or whether it's a video or a time lapse. Just imagine the embarrassment of, like, having this huge creation and then running out of a color of beads. That's why I recommend having so many. But again, technically it's not necessary. You can do whatever suits you best. That's just what I do because it's really helpful. The next thing, and I think the last thing that I'm gonna talk about is I don't know how to word it, but extra perler bead items. So right here I have, these are keychains, so that way I can make a perler bead creation into a keychain. And then in here, hold on, I have magnets and adhesive, like backings. So this again is something that's the farthest from necessary. In fact, I just got these recently and I hadn't done them before. But it is something that I think you might benefit from, because it gives you the ability to, like, put your creations on your fridge or on your backpack and kind of show off what you have. Because that's just about the only way that you're going to be able to, unless you're carrying around a backpack full of perler beads. But still, they're not really going to be shown off unless you go up to someone and show them. So it's definitely really nice to have the option of turning them into keychains and turning them into magnets. And it's like kind of it's almost like kind of convenient, because one of the things about perler beads that I love to do is like show them off. Because like no matter what you make, people are gonna be fascinated by it. Lately my whole class has been loving the stuff that I've been making, and it just kind of really helps to get popularity, especially again if you're doing a YouTube channel of perler beads. But I think that's just about it. Let me know in the comments section or anywhere else on my channel if there's something that I missed that you would like me to cover. Otherwise, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Peace out.